Have you ever had your parole violated at your parole hearing? After 18 months inside for a bar fight that went sideways, I was finally sitting in front of the parole board. My lawyer Dimitri had coached me for weeks. Be remorseful, take responsibility, show rehabilitation. I wore my only suit, borrowed from my cellmate, and practiced my answers until they sounded genuine. The board consisted of 3 people: a stern woman with reading glasses, an older gentleman who looked half asleep, and a younger guy typing on his laptop. Everything was going perfectly until 20 minutes in, when the door burst open. A corrections officer I'd never seen before rushed in, breathing hard. "Stop the hearing! We have a situation with inmate Vasquez." The stern woman looked up. "This is Vasquez." The officer's face went pale. "No, I mean, wait." He pulled out his radio. "Control, confirm the location of inmate Vasquez, number 78,432. Static crackled. "Vasquez 78432 is currently in parole hearing room B. But I'm looking at him right now in room B." The board members exchanged confused glances. The typing stopped. I raised my hand slowly. "I'm Vasquez 78,431. Different person." The officer stared at me, then at his paperwork. "Oh God. Oh no." He turned to the board. "There's been a massive mix-up. We have 2 Vasquezes, Ricardo and Roberto. Similar numbers, both up for parole today. So what's the emergency?" asked the older gentleman. Suddenly awake, the officer swallowed hard. "Roberto Vasquez, the other one, just tested positive during his pre-release screening. Substances in his system, but the lab..." He trailed off, looking at me with growing horror. "The lab might have mixed up the samples." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean, might have?" The stern woman removed her glasses. "Are you telling me we might be about to release someone who's been using while keeping someone clean?" "The samples were processed at the same time," the officer admitted. "Same initials, consecutive numbers. The lab tech is new and..." "Run another test," Dimitri demanded. "Right now, we can't. Both inmates already provided their samples this morning. It takes 48 hours to clear their systems enough for an accurate retest." The typing guy looked up. "So we have a 50-50 chance of getting this right?" The room fell silent. 18 months of good behavior, program completion, staying clean despite my cellmate literally dealing inside, and it came down to this. The stern woman spoke first. "Protocol is clear. A positive test means automatic denial. But it might not be his positive test." Dimitri slammed the table. "Might not isn't good enough for public safety," she replied. I watched my freedom evaporate over a clerical error. "This is insane. Check my record. 26 clean tests inside. Not one violation." "Roberto has the same record," the officer said quietly. The older gentleman rubbed his temples. "What if we delay both decisions?" "Can't. State law requires same-day determination once a hearing begins. We either grant or deny. No middle ground." That's when I remembered something. "Wait, Roberto has diabetes. He told me during kitchen duty. Check his medical files." The officer radioed medical. 5 agonizing minutes later, confirmation came back. Roberto was indeed diabetic, requiring daily insulin. "So?" the stern woman asked. "The substance that flagged positive," I said, standing up. "What was it?" The officer checked his paper. "Metformin." Dimitri actually laughed. "That's diabetes medication. It can cause false positives for other substances, but it's completely legal for diabetics." The typing guy pulled up something on his screen. "Confirmed. Metformin is prescribed to Roberto Vasquez for type 2 diabetes management." The stern woman's face softened slightly. "So nobody actually failed?" "Appears not," the officer said, relief flooding his features. "Then why the hell did you burst in here?" the older gentleman demanded. The officer shuffled his feet. "The lab flagged it as positive. I didn't check what kind of positive. I just ran." The board members looked at each other, then at me. The stern woman cleared her throat. "Mr. Ricardo Vasquez, given the extraordinary circumstances and the disruption to these proceedings, we're prepared to render our decision." I held my breath. "Parole granted." Dimitri shook my hand so hard I thought he'd dislocate my shoulder. As we left, I passed Roberto in the hallway, looking terrified. "Metformin," I whispered. "You're good." His face broke into the widest smile I'd ever seen. We bumped fists as we passed. 2 Vasquezes who'd never meet again but would always share the wildest parole story in state history. The officer? Last I heard, he was reassigned to filing duty. Turns out reading comprehension is important in corrections. Who knew?